So, hi everyone, and again, happy International Women's Day. So, we have someone from Premier Inc. with us, Kaycee. So, I think I'll ask her to introduce herself quickly.
Hi, everyone. Jen, thanks so much for having me. And I agree. Happy International Women's Day. My name is Kaycee Kalpin, and I am a vice president of strategic marketing at a company called Premier Inc.
And actually, I'm curious, how did you find out about the event? Did
Twitter.
you...
So
Oh, okay,
I've got
perfect.
a pretty big network, Jen, of amazing women and women in healthcare and women in technology on Twitter. And someone shared the event with me, and I thought,
Okay.
that's awesome. I want to be involved, and Premier absolutely wanted to be involved and be a sponsor of the event. So here we are.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for supporting us and supporting all these 200 plus women who is going to be speaking at this event. So just to kind of find out more about you and the company. So can you tell us more about Premier Inc. and what the products and services are? I did look at the website and I did see some things, but it would be good to hear it from you.
I'd be happy to. Yeah. So Premier is a healthcare technology company. We are partnered with over 4,000 hospitals, systems, and actually hundreds of thousands of other sites of care in the US. We create healthy communities, and we do that by lowering the cost of and improving the quality of care through both technology enablement and wide scale collaboration across the entire value chain, which includes providers, payers, employers, and life sciences.
Interesting. So it's just a wide range of things that the company does. So what is your role specifically? You mentioned it, but maybe you can like describe what your day to day is, and yeah.
For sure. And my day to day is from home right now because we are in the state of North Carolina, and many of the corporate offices still have not opened back up since the pandemic. So it's quite different. But I run strategic marketing for Premier. And I'm lucky enough to work with a team of about 45 exceptionally talented strategists, omni-channel campaign experts, and creatives. And we're really responsible for shaping the brand and the reputation of the company. We launch new products to the marketplace, and we are responsible for accelerating new business growth.
Keeps you busy.
Yes, very much
Sounds
so.
like.
And hard to do from
Yeah.
home, but we're working through it.
Yeah, we all had to adjust, right, because of this pandemic, which I'm hoping will be out of soon. I
I
think
sure hope
everyone's
so.
getting kind of bored of being at home. But of
This would
course,
be a fun event to do in person too.
but we need to make sure that that everything's safe before everything opens up again.
Absolutely, yes.
Can you tell us about why the mission, vision, and values of premiering speak to you personally?
Yeah, so we are a publicly traded company, not in the not-for-profit space, but um, I would say every single person in the company, together with our customers, is really committed, and they all really share a common thread that is an unwavering commitment to improving the health of our communities. So it's a great place to work. Our vision is to lead the transformation to high quality, cost effective care. And I have rarely in my career or through my network encountered a company with such a strong and deeply rooted culture to create change and make a difference, which is an awesome place to work. We really value integrity, we reward performance, and we have a very committed focus on our people, including the diversity, inclusion, and belonging within the company. And we have a really unique perspective and approach to innovation, which is one of the ways that brought us into the technology sector and one of the reasons I am here today.
So, speaking of innovation, what are you most excited about in terms of technology in healthcare? there are a lot, going on. She said, like, in the healthcare sector. So it's been very interesting, even here in the UK. So for folks watching, I'm in London, and Casey is in North Carolina. So yeah, so it's
Yeah,
what are you
Jen,
most excited about?
you nailed it. And I would love to speak more offline with you about healthcare in London. That sounds fascinating. But you absolutely nailed it. The healthcare technology space around the world is absolutely saturated with siloed apps and products that lack any sort of interoperability. And for the most part, just don't really fit within the existing workflow of providers and administrators. So, Premier believes that innovation isn't just about new ideas. New ideas are good, but we really believe that that in order to innovate and accelerate innovation, we need to join hands in problem solving and collaboration. So we get that accelerating transformation in healthcare means we have to work together, and so that means a lot of different things for us. It means building on existing innovation that's widely adopted. It means fixing issues standing in the way of adoption and scalability. Um, our chief diversity and inclusion officer, one of my favorite colleagues, actually shares this African proverb that maybe you've heard before, that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And that really rings very, very true for our approach to thoughtful and sustainable innovation at Premier.
Yeah, that is a very good proverb, to live by. Definitely. Um, okay, maybe just talking about the company and the people working at Premier, especially towards like the diversity inclusion. Are there like internal programs that you folks have like implemented to make sure that the team is diverse, inclusive, equitable? If there's anything you want to maybe share, that you can
Sure.
share, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a commitment for our CEO and for our executive team, without a doubt. I'm lucky enough to work with a lot of women. There tend to be a lot of women and diverse women in the field of marketing. But our company is absolutely committed to ensuring diversity, inclusion, and belonging. We have several different employee resource groups that lead their own conversations and are diverse groups in and of themselves. And many of our executives, including our CEO, he actually leads our Latinx ERG, and so we're absolutely an inclusive place to work and have several initiatives going on to ensure that our employees feel included and feel a sense of belonging as well.
How big is the company? Is it, are you only US based, or do you have like offices around the world?
We serve hospitals and health systems and other groups, life sciences payers, primarily in the US market, yes. And we have several thousand employees. We have
Okay.
offices all across the United States, from California to where I am, North Carolina. And we have people that are both badged to enter hospitals and health systems, and people that are working with large employers to help them keep the cost down for their employees, and keep employees happy and healthy, basically. So it's a diverse company with lots of different products and solutions in the healthcare space.
Sounds very interesting. Um, and in terms of like maybe encouraging, because it's International Women's Day, so we want to focus a bit more on women. I know our audience is like everyone basically, because we opened this conference to all. Well, when we were doing this in person, I had to limit it to women only because of the fact that there's physical limitation for the space, and obviously I wanted to prioritize women. Otherwise, we'll have to get more sponsors to actually pay for the physical costs and all that, which is not a joke actually. Um,
Absolutely.
so yeah, because last time we did this in person, we had to actually feed around 1,800 plus attendees. So
Wow.
imagine if we open it up to a lot more people. there would be astronomical costs, and there were already. But anyway, sorry about that. I digress. Um, so yeah, in terms of like inspiring, more women to get into leadership positions, are there any specific programs that the company runs, or maybe it's informal? Maybe it's not a truly formal thing, but are there any other things that Premier does to encourage more women into leadership, which is very important, right? Because you want to inspire, especially in the young girls of today, to have role models, and hopefully realize that there's a certain path that they can follow to leadership.
Absolutely. I love that, Jen. And yes, our company has several different initiatives, and really it's in the DNA and the culture of the company to be inclusive, including with women. We recently had a female CEO that was just a huge inspiration to many of us retire. And we had actually my boss, his name is Michael Alkire, took over. She was an intense female leader that was very sophisticated, incredibly insightful, and had special bonds with all our employees. And I can't say honestly that he's much different. I mean, he's a personal mentor to me. He is one of the most supportive male leaders I've ever worked with in terms of inclusiveness and belonging, and being supportive of women in the boardroom and beyond. And so I think sometimes, oftentimes that starts from the top, and Premier certainly has a culture of encouraging anyone and everyone to go for their dreams. And the common thread that connects us all is this connectivity back to the mission of the organization to improve the health of communities. So I'd say if you're looking for a job in healthcare, it's a great place to be, and you're a woman.
Great. Is there a lot of hiring going on at the moment? Because obviously it's different from company to company. There are companies who were obviously shedding, personnel because of
Absolutely.
but there are companies as well who were like hiring more actively than when when we were not on lockdowns and all that. So yeah, it's
Right.
been very interesting how different companies actually fared the
Yeah,
last year or so.
it really is. It really is interesting. And I'd say for us, um, nothing changed by way of hiring in the pandemic. We continued to really have a steady drumbeat of recruitment and bringing in new talent and new diverse perspectives into the organization. Healthcare didn't go away. The need to really fix healthcare from the inside only really got increased, right? And so there are several different things, including technology enablement, that we have to get right in order for healthcare to better serve our citizens and our communities. And so, yeah, hiring is in full speed. I actually brought on several marketers in the pandemic that I've never even met in person. And so I hired them virtually. They work virtually, and I think that's kind of the new reality.
Yeah, that's very interesting, right? Because you're hiring people, you haven't like met them. You've probably only seen like half the upper part of their body, basically. So it would be
Exactly.
interesting to to see how they really sort of look on the height wise, especially in persons. To be probably a lot of like surprises.
You know
Yeah,
what, there could be, but come one, come all. Let's,
yeah, yeah.
let's fix healthcare together. And they're all amazing people. And again, just cultural fit is really critically important for me. And so if we can join hands on a mission, then there's a lot we can do together. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been an adventure.
That's
But at
great.
the
Yeah.
same time, I would just add, Jen, that, serving hospitals and health systems, and the majority of all hospitals and health systems in the nation working with Premier in some way in the United States. And it's been rough. I mean, the pandemic
Mm,
has
yeah.
absolutely turned them into, it has further hurt their margins and their operating margins in terms of, revenue that they're bringing in and costs that they have to absorb in order to serve these patient populations, and the need to really transform healthcare, to move to value-based models in the United States, and to help them have visibility and the technology to automate and to gain better insights about how to care for patient populations has only expanded. So while it has been, a healthy journey for me personally, in that I've brought on some really great talent and had the opportunity and the resources to do that, it has not, certainly not been a great and easy time for our customers. So I should
Yeah.
absolutely acknowledge that.
Yeah, definitely it's been tough, for the healthcare sector, of course. Especially in the very beginning, right? When you're
Right.
talking about like PPEs not being available. And actually here in the UK, we had like at the very start of lockdown, we had this volunteer group, which I got involved with it when there were only probably around 50 people,
Right.
and we grew that to around 8,000 volunteers. Three D printing, like masks. So yeah, it's been very interesting.
That's incredible though. And good for you
Yeah.
for volunteering your time for a cause like that. That's great.
Yeah, I'm actually glad, to be honest, that I had something to do to be being kind of selfish, but anyway, but obviously it's for a good cause. Yeah, it's been very interesting. But yes, so we did notice the struggles as well of like hospitals and all that in terms of coping with this. So yeah, I mean, kudos to all the frontline
Mm.
workers. Okay, so Casey, speaking of innovation, what are you most excited about in terms of technology in healthcare?
I'm fascinated by a lot of marketplace dynamics. Two that I'll speak to are the rise of consumerism in healthcare in the United States and beyond, I'm sure, and the introduction of more sophisticated data science, like artificial intelligence, into healthcare. And if you follow me or we engage on Twitter, I share and collaborate on a lot of both of those topics. So just first on consumerism, we're seeing in the healthcare sector, consumers really change roles from the backseat rider to the driver's seat in healthcare. And more consumers are really shifting to these high deductible plans that give them more flexibility and the ability to choose where they spend and where they get the care that they need. So in addition, we're also seeing, like I mentioned, large self-insured employers joining the movement to keep their employees and their families healthy at the lowest possible price. And these dynamics are really accelerating the adoption of technology across healthcare, from things like virtual health to even analytics and insight that deliver this low-cost, high-quality healthcare. Premier has certainly expanded their capabilities in this regard. We have a company called Contigo Health that helps
Mhm.
employers access a high-value network of providers to collaborate with these large employers, and they're really kind of working together, and it's different looking in the market to try to get that best possible care to the patient at the right time. And then the last dynamic I'll mention that I know many people in this conference are probably talking about is the introduction of AI in healthcare. With something like 25% of all healthcare spending being waste, it's absolutely essential that we modernize and introduce technology and AI to deliver smarter care. If you think
Yeah,
about,
definitely.
if you think about administrative and clinical inefficiencies in healthcare, the entire system and workflow are a prime candidate for AI and automation and other technology. The true challenge, I think, Jen, is going to be introducing these technologies and practices in a way that allows clinicians to operate at the top of their license, and also ensures customer satisfaction while
Yeah.
delivering better, smarter care. So again, Premier is working to, in many ways, to infuse AI into the care delivery process, including automating like back end manual processes and making sense of unstructured data, to deliver insights to the care team and community at large for things like COVID symptoms emerging in a community long before, as a warning sign, long before a
Yeah.
pandemic
Yeah. Catch
arises.
it
So
early, basically. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, there are so many exciting reasons to be in healthcare and technology. I think the future is really exciting, and I'm glad we're here. And I can't wait to see what's next for healthcare and technology.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as you said, there are actually a lot of talks at this conference about AI and healthcare. So that just shows you there's a lot going on in the the healthcare sector, and how technology is helping kind of improve things with regards to that sector. So yeah, so I encourage our audience to check out those talks that we've got here that has got to do with AI and healthcare. So any maybe last few like words or tips or advice for women who are watching us and also our allies who are watching us?
I think
Yeah.
the conversation is just so important. So, if you at all feel disconnected, I put my Twitter handle on, my title here. Please connect. I can even connect women or allies into communities, at least here in the United States and internationally, that can help people feel better connected and heard, and find mentors if that's what they need. But I think the conversation that we're having is critically important. Awarding and rewarding progress is critical too. We can, ask for things all day, but I think we need to step back and really reward ourselves for how far we've come. And let's just stay connected.
Thank you for that, Casey. It's been a wonderful conversation, and I'm really glad that we're able to actually spare some time today to speak with us. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed that chat, and check out the other talks that we've got lined up for you. And again, happy International Women's Day from myself and from Casey and from Premier Inc. And thanks Premier Inc. for supporting this event.
Thank you so much, Jen. It was so great to chat with you. I'm looking forward to indulging in the other chats as well.